Hello, this is Samadan and Samadan, and they are on a journey to make gold. It's the night before pre-patch, so everything's going to change with the level squish, and potentially lots of more players are going to come back to the game to find out what the new leveling system is like. We've also had the change to the relics where the vendor shuffle has been adjusted so much so that a lot of people aren't investing in those markets. So what we're going to do is have a look at what we can do with our current stock and what we're looking at, and see if there's a few things we can change to adapt to the new and changing markets that are coming with pre-patch. But first and foremost, let's check our mailbox because there's lots of things we can do here. So here we have some good sales already, which is pretty nice. What have we got here? We've got silver ore, 25 of those at 633. The bolt of silk cloth sold. Heavy stone, silk cloth sold there. We sold some copper ore there for 851, and a few other bits and pieces that Samadan brought. Another lovely message again, that's nice to see. And then everything else looks like expires. So we do have some stock of mage weave cloth here, and we also have some in our bags. So we're going to have a look at the prices of those and see whether we can still sell those at that price. I mean, currently 1 gold and 5. That still is within margins for a vendor shuffle potentially. So everything may not be lost on that stock. I certainly wouldn't recommend just throwing all this on the auction house now. Now is the time where prices have plummeted, where people who are reacting to the changes of the relic system are throwing their materials back on at rock bottom prices. This is a situation where it would make more sense to keep hold of this stock and wait for the prices to recover and then sell those gradually throughout time. Or even use them ourselves in future things once we get some professions. There's still a lot of options here, so I wouldn't react too hastily. But first up, let's collect this gold, 1,887, which is a good start. Okay, so we have a reasonable amount of stock here. We'll put on the things we can normally, and we'll have a look at the prices of everything else, and we'll take it step by step, certainly with some of the relic items like the mage weave cloth. We'll see what kind of price that is on the auction house and then take it from there. The rest of our things should largely be unaffected by that, so we'll have a look, see if we can put a few things on the auction house at least, and then see what we can invest in later. Let's run a post scan on everything. So we've got a few things here below minimum price, but those are our recipes and things that may or may not sell anyway. We have deep sea satin here at 2 gold. We did buy that for 1 gold and 5, so that could be an option. Let's have a look at what that actually is though. That is the actual smallest price, so that's okay. People will be using this to make deep sea bags in pre-patch, I imagine, so that's probably still going to be fine. We only have a few of them anyway. The bolt of silk cloth is there. Now the mage weave cloth, we are at undercutting competition here at 245, which if we can sell it for that price, that will still be good. Whether we will sell it for that price is a different matter. 2 gold 45 is quite high. We'll try it though, we'll see what happens. And then everything else looks fine, so we'll post all of this on. Okay, fantastic. So we may or may not get some sales. People are obviously preparing for pre-patch at the moment, so whether people will want to buy any of these things or not, or whether new players coming back might want to buy things, we don't know yet. But we've got a wide variety of different auctions on there. We have 50 posted auctions at 67,000 total. That's a decent amount of gold, even if some of that sold. We still have some mage weave in stock, so we can save that for later. We could always put that in our bank if our bags start getting a little bit full. We've got all our herb parts here, a few other bits and pieces. The righteous boots didn't go on, probably because of a below minimum price on that one. So let's look at a few things maybe we can invest. We have currently 5,700 gold. So let's have a look. Even though a lot of these potential relic things aren't necessarily a good option now when it comes to buying and pushing the price up, let's see what kind of price things are, because we may be able to find a bargain or two to buy and hold and then sell them on later. So I will expect some of the prices to go down, particularly things like linen cloth. The market price may have been skewed quite recently because of the sudden drop in prices with some things, so it will take a little while for TSM to adjust to new prices of markets. So looking at this, let's change this to the cheap stuff so we can have a look, see if there's anything a relative bargain there. I'm going to avoid these because there's not necessarily a good vendor shuffle with these now, so that's adjusting to the market price dropping. The same with rune cloth. It could ideally do with being under a gold for that in order to make a vendor profit on it now. So I'm not seeing a great amount of things I want to flip at this point. So I'm going to take a more cautious approach here. I'm going to stick with my auctions that I've got on, the 50 posted auctions, and see if we can generate some more sales with that. Then we can look at maybe some other markets and try to develop our process a bit further on from there. So we'll probably need to start trimming this down into things we don't want to look at, and maybe just focus on something like the herbs and look at those. The wild steel bloom there at 18 gold seems disproportionately high. The swift thistle at 2 gold could be an option there. Looking at that, that could be a small flip there, going from 2 gold up to 3 gold 52 for the swift thistle. We sold some for 265 and 284, so I'd buy that up. Let's start with something small and build from there. That's 60 gold. We could possibly take this up to 5 gold as well, as there's only 6 of those here. So let's take those, see if we can push that a little bit higher. Everything else here, Earthroot is looking at 2 gold, 171 is our average buy price. We last sold 6 days ago for 253. There's only one on at that price, then it jumps up to 257. So we could just take that one for a very small flip. Then we've got things that we're actually currently selling at the moment, so there's not a lot here in terms of things we can flip very easily. And the market prices is looking quite close to the 100% market value here anyway, so I'd probably avoid quite a few of these at this stage. So let's just take those things for now. We'll also do a vendor search whilst we're here, just in case there happens to be anything at a reasonable price. Seems to be a couple of things there at 978. They vendor sell for 18 gold and 76 gold for that one. They seem good. So let's start with those at least. What are we at the moment? 5686. So we'll take that lot. So 5686 we were at, and we take all of these four and sell them straight back on. We're at now at 5731. So you just made a nice small chunk of gold there with that lot. That was really good. And then let's put our auctions back on. The herbs that we just bought, not going to be many here. So the swift thistle and the earthroot, bought that at 225. Earthroot at 171. So that's a good price just to pop them up a little bit higher. So nothing huge. 67,000 still on here. 52 posted auctions. There's plenty and plenty of different markets we can start looking at. For the moment, I'm going to leave Samadan, selling the things that Samadan has been making, and then we'll come back to you a bit later. So we'll say goodbye for now, Samadan, and we'll do a little bit on Samadan and come back to you later, once we've got some more stock to sell. Hello, Samadan. How are you? I hope you're all rested and ready to fly to new adventures. So we are now in a really good position. Before pre-patch, we managed to hit level 58, which means we picked up flying. So when the level squish happens, we'll still get our flying. As a druid, it's going to be really useful travelling around to different zones. And as a dual gatherer, there's lots and lots of options open to us now. We could carry on questing around this area. That's certainly an option. Get through the levels. And then we can start looking at different zones and seeing what's going to be good to collect up different ore and different things in lots and lots of different areas. We're currently here in straddled between eastern and western plague lands with our missions so far. Yeah, it looks to be a few different interesting ores here. There's lots of iron here and lots of mithril on this side. I would ideally like to go somewhere where there's a lot of thorium for my next adventure. There's a little bit here and there, and obviously we found a lot of it down over in the Swamp of Sorrows. We've done the Swamp of Sorrows now. Getting a lot of thorium that way was obviously a good idea. We could come back here with flying and do a few routes around here. That would certainly be an option. There's other zones though as well. There's the Badlands, that's got a lot of mithril. There's the other continent we can go to as well. Over onto Kalimdor, we could go to Winterspring. There's a lot of thorium around here. There is also Silithus. That has a lot of thorium around it. And the other one here is Ngoro Crater. We've got a lot of options here. So thorium ore, the reason I'm looking at this is because the thorium leggings still sell for a decent amount to a vendor. So people may still be looking to buy some of this up. So we have a number of options here. We can either carry on over here and carry on questing over in Eastern Plaguelands, learn a little bit more around here, pick up a few bits and pieces. or we can go over on a new adventure onto another part of the continent and see how it is over here. We've got, in Winter Spring is 40 to 60, Ngoro is 40 to 60, so we're at the top end of these anyway in terms of level range. Then we're going to have to move on to somewhere else anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is head over this way and see if I can do a bit of thorium farming, making use of our flying. It's not top end flying, but it's still a good start. So I'm going to abandon these quests. We're done with this area. Sorry, Gidwin, another time perhaps. So now we need to think about how are we most easily going to be able to get back there. I expect Menethil Harbour would be a good option here. There could be a boat there from here to Theramore Isle in Dustwallow Marsh. That will take us over this way. Down here, Dustwallow Marsh would get us here from Menethil, thinking of getting across here. Or we could just simply get a portal over to Darnassus and fly down over here to Winterspring. Would be another option. There's lots of things over here. Some interesting ice caps there as well. I think that might be the most straightforward actually, going straight from Darnassus to Winterspring. So we need to get to our home city. For that we're going to need to get a flight because we don't have anything here. So let's get a flight to the nearest home city. It's so nice being able to fly. We can now go up high in the sky, anywhere we want. So much more freedom. Let's go down to the harbour. Okay, next options now. We are just here. In terms of flights, we can go across here into Darkshore, which is 10 to 60, then into Felwood, and then Winterspring's over here. I've not been in Winterspring for a long time. We do have a start quest here, Threat of the Winterfall. So we could actually look at doing some quests around here, as well as actually just flying around and collecting up ore and things. There's definitely options. We'll have a look, see what it's like when we get there. Okay, into a new area. We have lots of options here. I've got extra add-ons here now telling me where rare mobs are with the rare scanner, and I've also got all the things add-on installed, which gives me even more options as well. So what I'm going to do is just fly in a general straight line and see if I can pick up anything along the way. I'm not going to go out of my way to make detours. So whilst we're here, and I can see a lot of nodes just below me, we might as well try. There's some mithril here. We're getting XP here as well, so we could in theory carry on and mine and grab nodes as we go and level up that way. That is certainly an option. I'll follow along the edge of the mountains here, see if we can pick up any ores. These are all scaled to my level, so that should be fine. This mithril ore has a sale value of 5 gold, so that sounds quite reasonable. See if I can pick up these herbs whilst I'm here. Grom's blood sounds interesting. I could probably do with some Dark Moon fire water here to help with mining and herbing here. That could be an option for later. The Dark Moon fair has just ended, so we may be able to get some quite cheaply at the moment. Something to think about in the future, certainly. But we'll carry on for the moment. Some true silver. This could be interesting. And we leveled 59. True silver's worth somewhere between 8 and 20 gold. So that's also an interesting one. We could certainly have some options here. Gaining gold and leveling up at the same time. I'm not bothering to make any routes here because I'm just simply passing through. Let's head on over this way. This should take us into Winterspring itself. Now it's definitely looking colder here. So what do we have in the way of a route here? We could certainly do something around here with all of this thorium. Let's start just by following it around the edge. So there's the first of the thorium, 7 gold 50 current price. A little high there. This may not necessarily be the best thing to be mining. I'll have a look at some extra herbs and things whilst we go. Looking at that, the mithril might have been a better option. I mean, what's nice about this is we get to explore areas. There we go, professional expert. Herbalism increased at 225. Now, was this the starting quest? Let me have a look. Yes, it was. There's an option here. We could start the quest lines here, and then we can level up at the same time. We are literally only going all the way to 60 at this point, so I might leave it for now and carry on just seeing what I can do with herbalism and mining. Now I believe there should be a auction house around here at some point as well. There's a goblin area. I wonder what this mountain silver sage is like. Let's combine this. Can't use it while shapeshifted. Okay, let's go back here and let's have a look at this for a minute. Because this has a 12 gold sale value. That's very nice. And a 0.27 region sale average. So that's going to be interesting. We could make use of that. Right, two options here. We can either go around this route here. I'm going to head over into this middle area. I think that's where I remember where the goblin area was. Let's go explore. Whoops, here be dragons. Where would I expect them to be? Ever look here. That area I think is where we need to go. We'll go south from here. It's amazing how quickly we've gone through the XP here, just flying around. Incredibly quick. I know a lot of that was rested XP, but before we know it, we're going to be 60. And then a whole new world opens up to us with a new expansion. So this makes for quite a nice stopgap. Here we go, this is what I was expecting. Now I believe there's an auction house here. Might as well grab the flight point here, because they're always worth getting, even if you have flying. Now let's have a look. Interesting area here. Mining supplies. Let's go check, see if we've got any limited supply items. Engineering supplies could always be good. Here we go, some limited supply, coarse blasting powder. No bronze iron there. Some limited supply schematics here. We could try selling these. They have a reasonable sale value. Namely this one, powerful Sephorium charge. Let's try one each of these, see if we can sell them. And we might as well with blasting powder, and the same with that one. Might be a reasonable bit of extra gold. Aha, here we go. Auctioneer Grizzlin. That's what I was looking for. So we can actually put some of our things on straight here, which is really handy. But we're only stopping here for a small amount of time. Then we've got the pattern rune cloth bag. That's another option. It's got a small sale rate, 0.05 there. Perhaps someone collecting things up might want to get it. We'll grab that just in case. And the same with these. Let's try them. 0.03, so not a massive sale rate, but we'll give them a go. Sell a few extra recipes and things whilst we're here in the middle of nowhere. Okay, that's the area explored. There's some interesting limited supply things we picked up there. We have a mailbox here as well. I'm so very close to getting to 60 here. I might as well literally just fly around, get the last bit of extra XP to 60, and then go and send all my stuff from here. So let's have a look. Easiest place here to go. Anywhere really. Let's head along here. Okay, this should be the last one. There we go. Ding, level 60. That was very, very easy. Now we have expert riding, so I'm going to leave that for the moment. Then obviously we have adventure calls. Select your next assignment. So we have a choice here between Outland and Northrend. But at the moment we have other options available to us once the new levelling system comes in with Chromie time. So I have many other options when it comes to... I'm going to wait for the moment and see what happens once pre-patch hits. Okay, so onwards and upwards. Let's go back to Everlook. Might as well pick some herbs along the way. Then we'll send this stuff back to Samadan and see what happens there. Right, here we are with the mailbox. So we need to have a look at our TSM group here. There's probably going to be a few extra things we need to add in. So we'll go to our group here, send to Samadan, a whole load of schematics and extra bits. We do have some herb parts like the petals here. We'll add those in, and the stalks, just so we've got a separate group for those. And then the mountain silver sage we can add in there. And the herb parts, the Crom's blood leaf, we'll add in there as well. Then everything else we'll just add in straight to send to Samadan. Add all of those in. And we'll send all of that lot over. And we have another mail here. Someone saying, liking the series, and a little bit of extra gold. That's very kind of them. Okay, I sent the gold back as I wanted to be self-sufficient. So let's send on over everything to Samadan. There we go. That's got everything cleared out. So let's go have a look at resting here for the moment. We haven't set our hearthstone here. We probably could have done with setting that in either our Ironforge or Stormwind. So we're all the way over here without an easy way of getting back. But that's fine for the moment. We made some very quick progress there, up to level 60. So we'll see what level we get to tomorrow. And then the whole level squish happens, and then we've got a brand new set of adventures. So until next time, we'll leave you here, Samadan, and go back over to Samadan and see how things are there. See you soon, Samadan. Hello, Samadan. Let's go put on all those things from Samadan and see if we can make some extra gold with those. We picked up some quite interesting new things there on that list, so we'll have to adjust our groups. So I'll pick up all of this lot. Now let's look at some of those stems we could probably combine. So we had some golden sansom leaf, we can combine those. Everything else, herb parts is there. We've got some extra ones here though. Ice cap petals, got 182 of those. So let's combine those into ice cap. Now that's interesting. The ice cap is $9.95 with a 0.19 sale rate. The petals themselves have a much lower sale rate, but actually are going for a lot higher in gold value. But they don't really have as much value to a player. They seem quite expensive, so I'm going to stick with the ice cap here with a higher sale rate. And then the same with the mountain silver sage stalk is 280. The mountain silver sage itself is more like 12 gold. That's what I'd expect. I think this ice cap petal is disproportionately high compared to the actual ice cap itself. There we go. Okay, so we have a few extra things here we can add into groups. So let's go to TSM, go to our groups. So herb parts, at the moment we've got the Grom's Blood leaf and the ice cap petal. We'll add those two in. Then we have in the actual herbs themselves, ice cap mountain silver sage. Add those in. Then we have miscellaneous trade goods is going to be the huge emerald, coarse blasting powder, and then the patterns and recipes, we'll add in all of these new ones that we picked up and see if we can get some sales that way. So those can all go in there. Right, let's have a look and see if we can post those on. We sold some tender crab meat, so that's going to come through in a moment. Let's go through and run a post scan on everything else. So the true silver ore here is 8 gold, runecloth bag is a nice high one. The ore we picked up here at 5 gold, thorium here at 7 gold 50. I have a feeling that's not going to sell at that high price, but we'll give it a go at the moment. There may be a demand for it. Mage weave, we already had our 1000 on. Looks like we've been undercut on that, so we'll put this next 1000 lot on here and see if we can get some sales. Ice cap there at 9.95, the mountain silver sage at 12, and then the schematics are going up for quite high prices. The only thing not going on here is the righteous boots, which is below minimum price at the moment, so we'll leave those for now. Let's post all of these on, increasing our diversity. There we go, so 5,724 gold, 78,000 in posted auctions. A lot of these recipes are going on for over 1,000. This might be quite nice because people are starting to look for recipes and filling out their professions at this time of the expansion, and so they may be willing to pay for that convenience of not having to go all the way over there to Winterspring. It's an option, certainly. We'll keep an eye on that. Okay, I'm going to leave the rest of this for now because I don't want to start investing in more things at this point. We're about to have a major change with the game, but I don't want to take any unnecessary risks here. We'll keep hold of the gold we have at the moment. We have a good number of different auctions posted on, so the server's going to be down for a while as well, so we'll lose out on some auctioning time. It'll be better to come back once everything's back up and running, see where we're at, see what level everyone's at, and then take it from there. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's going to be exciting to see what happens with pre-patch, so let's see what new opportunities arise for Samadan and Samadan. Until next time, happy gold making, and I'll see you very soon.